Sister Jacqueline's spiritual discovery. In 1957, a young girl in the 7th grade purposed in her heart to serve her God as a Roman Catholic nun. With resolute determination, in 1967, she donned the habit and changed her name to Sister Jacqueline, a symbol of her consecration to the Lord. In 1975, God wondrously entered her life, but this time he did the changing, transforming her into his own child. I was Sister Jacqueline, and I would like to tell you my story, not because I am anyone important or haven't done any great thing, but because God has given me the reality that I sought so in life. And what he has done for me, he can do for you as well. When I was about 5 weeks old, I was baptized Roman Catholic. I grew up in the Catholic faith in a wonderful Catholic home. As I have said, I have just decided that I wanted to serve God as a nun. My entire educational background was secured in Catholic schools. I thought I had always loved God very much, and I wanted to serve him the best way I could. Upon reaching the age of 18, I entered the convent, and I loved my life as a sister. I taught school and entered into all of the ordinary everyday activities. I had been a sister for about 4 years when I began experiencing some trouble. I began to question my belief in the church, not my faith in God, but the belief I had in the Roman Catholic Church. I would arise at 5 a.m. and go to bed at 10 p.m., and my days were filled with activity, but my life was empty of meaning and had no real purpose. Perhaps I should say my life was not possessed of a person. The religious services became difficult for me. They seemed empty and without any real meaning. At times I would ask myself, how can I love God? One can only love a person that one knows. Although I was a good Catholic, I did not know God personally. As a result, I began to question and doubt, and my life seemed unendurable. I went to my superiors and told them of my problem. They assured me that it was the devil working in my heart, and so I decided that I would keep trying. But things got worse and worse. I was not getting anywhere. I did not seem to realize any meaning. I could not see where I was going, and all the work I did seemed empty and futile. Thus it was that I decided to leave. My family had moved, and I secured permission to go south and visit them. I thought perhaps I could find myself in this way. However, having been with them for but a short time, I had a nervous breakdown. I know that this was a very difficult time for my family, and how I thank God for their support and understanding. But as I look back on it now, I see that God was working in my life to bring me to the place where I am today. I was hospitalized for some time, and after being released, the doctor told me that I had manic depressive psychosis. That sounds very complicated, but actually what it meant was that I was vacillate from periods of exuberance and high energy of periods of deep depression and inactivity. I was taking a great deal of medication, and I had about 70 shock treatments for depression. However, with all this care, I really did not seem to be making positive progress in my battle with this illness. I went consecutively to 2 psychiatrists and continued this treatment for a period of about 7 years. The last psychiatrist told me that I would have to be on medication for the rest of my life, and that I was going to have to learn to cope with this kind of illness. As my condition permitted, I secured a teaching position in a Catholic school in the parish where my parents resided. However, I resigned the teaching profession after 3 years after I left the convent because it had become impossible for me. I had held a couple of jobs after that, but it was difficult to keep employment because of my depression. When I became depressed, it was difficult for me to work. I could not concentrate, and so I was to be released. I wondered in my heart how long this was going to go on. And then I secured a new job as a bookkeeper. I did not know how it was going to turn out, but I was willing to take just about anything at the time.